Henry and Sue don't want to sleep next to a loaded gun, but they say they have no choice after a frightening home invasion.
Yeah, if you break into my house, you're met with this.
I just knew that we were in very big danger.
They grabbed my wife and they put the knife in her throat. Do as you're told, no one gets hurt.
We think Australia's the lucky country where you can buy your own house, work hard to pay it off, and sleep peacefully each night under your own roof. But 70-year-old Henry Spierenberg learnt the hard way that that doesn't always happen.
The front door shattered by a baseball bat and, still lying on the ground, the yellow electrical cord used to tie up grandparents Henry and Sue Spierenberg in their own home.
I thought I was going to get my throat cut.
He may be a grandfather, but Henry Spierenberg is ready for a fight.
I had a shotgun beside me in the bed.
What are you planning to do with it?
Blow their bloody heads off if they come up the stairs with knives.
Henry doesn't mince his words, and he's deadly serious. That's because this 70-year-old has already been the target of a terrifying home invasion, and he's had a gutful. So Henry, tell me what happened here that night?
Well, I was asleep in bed, and about quarter to 4 in the morning, I hear this big loud noise like a bulldozer coming through the front door.
After smashing their way into the house, the three intruders then headed straight for Henry and his wife Sue's bedroom. So they've come charging in here?
Yep, knocked this door down. Yeah.
And what'd they do when they got in here?
Well, they grabbed me and held a knife at my throat, and then two blokes went around and grabbed Sue. She was there at the time and held the knife at her throat, yeah.
The thugs then ordered Henry to open the safe, where they cleaned out cash and jewellery.
Did as I was told, because I didn't want my wife to get hurt. Yeah, I just did as I was told.
I had a fellow standing right in that doorway there while I was sitting there, and he's going...
The ordeal has not only left the couple traumatised, it's also drastically changed the way they live. So Henry, what do you do now for protection?
I got my shotgun next to me in bed.
You sleep with it right there?
Shotgun, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Yeah. And what are you going to do with that?
I'm going to blow someone's head off if they come up the stairs with a knife and baseball bat at me. Yeah. Only one, there'd be no warning shot, boom. Yeah.
That's what you feel like is your only option now?
That's right, yep. I'll say stop. If they don't, they keep coming, that's it.
And why do you feel it's got to this situation that that's what you've got to do for protection?
I've got to protect my wife.
Henry says he'll risk the consequences if he's forced to pull the trigger.
If someone were to break in or some young offender was to break in there, etc., you then have the real possibility of someone being shot and killed.
Former police detective turned Bond University criminologist Terry Goldsworthy.
Anywhere where there's an application of lethal force that results in a homicide, I mean, you need to be able to show that it's authorised, justified or excused by law.
Is it safe to do this, do you think?
Safe for me, yeah.
Are you at all worried that your gun could be used against you somehow?
Well, not while I got hold of it.
When it comes to elderly victims of crime, sadly, Henry and Sue are far from alone. In a worrying trend, more and more older Aussies are being targeted by criminals. In Queensland, according to police statistics, the number of assault victims aged 65 and over increased 30% from 2016 to 2018, while robberies were up around 50%. Figures have also risen in New South Wales, with 25,662 crimes against older residents reported in 2014, compared with 26,230 last year. Break and enters were the #1 offence. While in Victoria, crime rates against the over 65s has steadily grown over the past decade, peaking at more than 18,000 incidents in 2016 before dipping slightly to just under 16,000 last year. Theft, burglary and property damage topping the list of crimes against our older citizens.
When you look at elderly people, they are an easier target to some degree. Often we associate accumulated wealth with them. They're less able to physically resist. Sometimes they're quite isolated from the community as well.
These people have lived a busy life, a hard life, paid taxes, and they need a peaceful retirement.
Cherith Wise from the Australian Pensioners and Superannuants League says it's got to the point where some of our seniors are too scared to leave their homes.
Particularly if you're on your own, in your own home, and particularly women. There's been a lot of targets, you know, by miscreants, shall I say.
Only one of the thieves who terrorised Henry and Sue was caught. He was given a 4-year suspended sentence and allowed to walk free after serving 11 months in custody. Henry says that's not good enough.
Say it happened to the judge, something like that happened to the judge, and they held a knife at his missus' throat. Would he got the same sentence? You know, it's a joke. The law's a joke. The police, they risk their lives every day of the week and catches these mongrels, and then the law lets them go off a sentence like that.
While Henry works on his aim with this air rifle in his backyard, he has this warning for the next person considering storming his home. What's your message to someone who's thinking about
Don't
targeting
come
you?
running up my stairs in the middle of the night. Go and get a job, you mongrels.
Yeah, can't say I blame him.